Greetings, and welcome to this modest death battle proposal by yours truly. Thank you, Sam and Liam, for your time and patience with listening to it. The first combatant, or combatants, for this proposal are Banjo-Kazooie. Their opponents are Yuka and Laylee. The similar themes should be obvious, but just to recap, they're both Animal Buddy duos from 3D platformers. They're all created by the same creative team under different companies, Banjo-Kazooie under Rare's squandered banner and Yuka and Laylee under Playtonic Games, a direct spiritual successor, and effectively the game equivalent of Deathstroke vs. Deadpool, or a more recent iteration of Ratchet & Clank vs. Jak and Daxter in more ways than one. For a preliminary comparison, Banjo-Kazooie holds some notable advantages. Kazooie and her eggs provide a more diverse long-range arsenal. Both Banjo-Kazooie have separate individual movesets. Together they have superior air combat abilities, being able to attack while Yuka and Laylee can only fly. Either their nuts and bolts vehicle or their Diddy Kong racing crafts easily outclass Kartos, Yuka and Laylee's only known vehicle, and they have access to more cheat codes at once. The Ginginator I wouldn't call standard, only used in one boss battle with a context-sensitive target, and thus isn't considered. Yuka and Laylee, on the other hand, have invisibility, a rechargeable energy bar for their abilities instead of different ammo types for each, and the capability to use all of their moves underwater. Also, they both have invincibility abilities between the Wonder Wing with gold feathers and the Sonic Shield. While they also have transformations, I would assume that these would be considered outside help from Mumbo, Humba, and Dr. Puzz, and thus be excluded, including Dragon Kazooie. If this were to become a full Death Battle episode, I have a few ideas. For starters, the fight track would be titled Rare Dynamic Duos or something similar. It would have a playful, bouncy, bombastic, chaotic, and epic boss energy. The Grant Kirkhope inspiration goes without saying, but the dream would be to commission the man himself. He composed the music for both series and would probably sympathize with breaking off from a parent company and starting anew. The fight itself could start in a forested canyon, either Spiral Mountain or Shipwreck Cove, or within an Aztec world that calls back to both series' first worlds. The latter would probably work best for my fright scenario. Both duos happen upon a floating page. They both recognize it as one of their collectibles, either a Cheeto page or a Pagey, and think that the other duo was a boss fight needed to obtain it, with Banjo or Kazooie commenting that usually they don't fight bosses for Cheeto pages, and nod to fourth wall breaks in both games. The actual fight would begin with an exchange of physical attacks that end with the Kazooie rubber chicken slam chasing off Yuka and Laylee. They use their invisibility to escape, but Kazooie uses the homing eggs cheat to flush them out. Of course, this would only complicate matters. A chase would ensue between the Reptile Roll and the Turbo Trotter Shoes, evolving to Kartos versus either Banjo-Kazooie vehicle. At some point, there could be a Mumbo cameo carrying his photo album that Yuka and Laylee could work the fight into for a change of scenery, like an ice world, swamp, factory, casino, etc., perhaps showing snapshots of potential transformation interactions, like the bee chasing the flower, the helicopter carrying the washing machine, the bank van and snowplow ramming, the alligator and piranhas ignoring each other, and the pirate ship and submarine having a naval battle. While not 100% certain to happen with this result, I do have an initial prediction. The news surpasses the classic. Yuka's tongue can catch pretty much all of Kazooie's egg types, even the time-restricted golden eggs. The sole exception would potentially be her base eggs. Even then, the eggs and feathers will run out eventually, where the energy bar will replenish over and over again. The tonic cheats only further enhance the effectiveness, and Yuka's invisibility guarantees an escape to buy time for the recharge. Unlike Laylee's Sonic Radar, neither Banjo nor Kazooie have a sure answer to the invisibility. When facing Klungo and his invisibility potion, they relied on that potion's imperfection. I may have offered a solution with the homing eggs, but that's not enough to outdo the disadvantage, especially with the eggs being pretty much countered already. The air and water advantages of either side offset each other, and while Banjo and Kazooie have better vehicles, I believe that Yuka has better strength feats by moving blocks bigger than anything Banjo has lifted or moved. Even if the Ginginator is considered, Its setup leaves Banjo-Kazooie open and didn't accomplish much when used, only breaking Grunty's barrier, which Yuka and Laylee would only need time or energy to replace, and knocking her off her pedestal after multiple hits. Pushing. Why it was used in the sumo-style Smash Bros. As a final smash. In other words, my predicted winners are Yuka and Laylee. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and here's to a successful return of Death Battle.